the lads down the lane. Let's make a stand. The lads down the lane, and Amstel in our hand. Yeah, lads down the lane, lads down the lane. It's lads down the lane. Yeah, lads down the lane.
Yes, evening all. We're back again for the shakedown, the weekly shakedown of what's been going on at Tottenham Hotspur FC. Got Nige here tonight. Nige, how are you, sir?
I am good, mate. Had a nice lazy Sunday, so it's been nice watching the football. And yeah, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Looking forward to the show. Looking forward to interacting with the chat once they start coming in. Big up to Jeff, who's just popped in to say evening. Big up, Jeff. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, just thought we'd come on, have a little chat about what's happened, I don't know, since the PSG game, if you like, up to and including Burnley, and anything else that we so desire to chat about, or that you do in the chat. Kevin's in. Big up, Kevin. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, mate. So, Nige, what is, how can I put it? What is your overreaching view of what you've seen since and before the game against PSG, and moving forward to what you saw in the Burnley game yesterday?
Obviously, before the PSG game, there was a little bit of negativity around with the Bayern result, and big up Johnny.
Big up,
yeah,
John.
So that was a bit of a concern. But, ever since the PSG game, we played really well against PSG. And going into the league season, where again yesterday I thought we were good without being brilliant, got the result, which, if you look at the Premier League results over this weekend, a lot of teams have struggled. Even some of the good teams aren't, no one's going to click straight away. So, yeah, really happy with the start. Just need to get some signings in now. But overall, I feel really positive about what we could see this season. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, pretty much the same, Nigel. I didn't really expect much from the PSG game. And when I was sitting there watching it, I thought, wow, this is like, I don't know, it's almost like such a massive transformation. And I know we didn't have, much in the going forward department, and we nicked our 2 goals as such. But just to see a solid team, do you know what I mean? That back 6 that I keep going on about, the 4 and the 2 in front, and even when it was a 3 with the 2 in front and the other 2 were bombing on a little bit, it was just nice to see structure. And I was so hoping that was going to continue into the weekend, and it did to a point, even though Thomas Frank did make changes. He put out a very, very young midfield against Burnley. He obviously thought he could get away with doing that. Yeah, because even though we won the game, in my opinion, 3-0, there were still bits and pieces, especially in the first half. It improved a bit in the second half, but in the first half where Burnley had chances, and that led me even to saying to you that Archie Gray has still got a lot to learn. As well as he did, he's still got a lot to learn. So that was pretty much where I was. I was chuffed that we won. Big up, Nia. I was chuffed that we won 3-0 yesterday and got off to a good start. And I'm really looking forward now to City next weekend, because it's nice and early in the season. Hopefully, we're going to get in a couple of signings, maybe only one before the City game. Hopefully, it's edging closer, and we'll talk about that at some stage. But yeah, for me, we need Eze in, and we need him in now. We need him for the City game, and hopefully we can go up there and show him we're no pushovers, Nige.
Well, and the thing is, we've talked about it, and everyone's talked about it, and I think there isn't a single person who supports Tottenham that doesn't think that we have issues in the attacking areas. But our first two competitive games this season, we scored 5 goals. You
Yeah,
know, so,
yeah,
I'm just trying to think positively about things. There is no doubt we are lacking in areas, but the fact that, as I said, we have scored 5, we could have scored a few more.
mm,
There's a lot to be positive about at the moment, and like you, I can't wait for the City game. I think, listen, it could go one or two ways. We could get an absolute pasting, but we usually do quite well up there. So I'm looking forward to seeing how we set up, how Frank sets us up tactically, and
yeah,
how we play. Because
yeah,
we can't do underhands, didn't we? Every game we're going to play the same way.
yeah.
It's actually nice to think, oh, I wonder how we're going to play this week.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because I think there'll be certain games like City away where he will set up like he did against PSG. Yeah, Liverpool's, your Man City's, you know, I think any team that he thinks will dominate us possession wise, he will set up like that to it on the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be madness not to do that, to be quite honest with you, because he's proved
Agreed.
to a point that it works already. You know,
Yeah.
I love the geezer, mate. Honestly, and he wasn't my first choice, I've got to say, right? But at the same time, I was delighted when he was announced because we all know that he's a proper coach, Nigel, and that's what we were screaming out for. You know, so
Yeah.
good luck to the fella. That's what I'll say. And he started off really well, and hopefully all the fans will get behind him and he'll settle down and nick a few nice results for us. That's where I'm at with it at the moment.
He is, I agree, and I don't think it's going to take him long to win the fans over that are still very much in love with the last manager. I think we are going to get it as soon as we lose our first game. There's going to be division again, but
Yeah,
just Frank is just such a classy manager, isn't he? And little things that he does that he did at Brentford that you probably don't notice when you're an opposing fan, like every game, especially at home, going around all 4 sides of the stadium thanking the fans.
yeah,
And not just like most managers do, just clap the fans and then walk off. He literally takes time to walk around the whole pitch,
yeah.
thanking the fans. I think little things like that, I think the Spurs fans will love. I don't think it'd take long for him to gain the trust and the love of every Spurs fan.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. He seems to definitely have a lot going for him, Nigel, doesn't he? And
Mm.
I always like a manager as well that, I don't know if it's the right word, expresses himself on the touchline.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because, like we've said before, football's not just about watching what's going on the pitch. You're watching the sidelines as well. You're watching what the manager's doing now. The
yeah,
focus is on them all the time, and I like a bit of I don't know, is it what does you call it, an all action manager, not afraid to speak his mind, not afraid to get in someone's ear roll if they're not doing what he wants, and not afraid
yeah.
to pass messages across, to get his message across, and trust people to get that message over to the other side of the pitch. I really like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's what you want as a fan, isn't it? When you're a fan and you're watching that game, and you are, as a fan, you live it, don't you? You're pulling your hair out, you're up, you're down, you can't sit still. That's what you want from your manager. When you're seeing a manager just stood there doing nothing, motionless, kind of after a while it gets annoying. So the fact that Frank is
Mm.
always busy talking to his coach, I don't think I ever seen our last manager talk to the coaches. He's constantly in dialogue with them, constantly got his board out with the tactics on, and it's just exactly what we want to see for a manager, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. One quick question I will ask you, guys, is when you saw the midfield yesterday, was you worried at all? Did you think, oh, what, like, oh, so Do you know what? Because I sort of looked and then I had to look again because I was almost expecting one of Bentancur or Paulinia to play.
Yeah.
And then I could understand the Archie Gray playing but he didn't play with a two, did he? He didn't play with a two in front yesterday. And I was just a bit worried that Archie Gray was going to get a bit exposed, and he did a couple of times in the first half. I mean, obviously he's got to learn, Nige. You know what I mean? And I can understand to a degree why Thomas Frank put all those in. He obviously thought with those 3 in, we're still capable of beating Burnley, you know, and it turned out that was the correct decision because it's the result that matters at the end of the day. But what were your thoughts when you first saw that the midfield that Thomas Frank had put in place yesterday?
I was very much the same as you. I was looking at it thinking, oh, I don't know about that. That's, like you say, risk one, play one of Pelini or Bentancur. Don't drop both of them and put 2 youngsters in. That for me was a concern. I was like, this is risky. If we lose this, there's not a lot you can do but blame the manager. So, but it worked. And yes, Gray didn't have his best game. He grew into the game. He looked a bit nervy to start with, but as I said, we got the job done. Gray got valuable minutes as a number 6. It'll do him the world of good. And yeah, we move forward on to the next game. But I think he's going to do that a lot, in these home games against teams that we should be beating. Your Leeds, Sunderland's, teams like that at home where we are big favourites. I think you will see at least one of the youngsters in that midfield area.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what'll happen, Nige. I definitely do, because they'll also get, I think, you may find that they get a bit in the Carabao Cup as well, Nige. There's definitely 100%, I think, going to be rotation from week to week, depending on who you're playing, depending if you've got the midweek game, the Champions League game, the Carabao Cup game, the FA Cup game, whatever it is, I think unless you're playing like, I don't know, for argument's sake, City on Sunday and Bayern Munich on Wednesday in the Champions League, you might see a similar side then, because if you've only got an 11 or a 12 or a 13 that he thinks is capable of doing that top level job like they did against PSG for 70 minutes, he might have to do that. He might not then be able to stick a Gray in there, because it might be too much for him, Nige. That's all I'm thinking about. It's going to be difficult for him because he's got a lot of games to get through this season. A lot of games.
He has, and we have got a very young squad, so the youngsters are going to have to play a lot of games. But this is where Frank is good. Frank will. I know we said that Ange wasn't afraid to play the youngsters. He was kind of forced to. And I kind of felt the way he was tactically very much was like, this is the way we play, just go out and do it. I feel that maybe Frank is maybe a little, and Ange said himself, he wasn't your man manager you go up to, and he wasn't your father figure manager. He was more of a taskmaster, do the job. I think maybe Frank is a little bit more understanding of the youngsters and may help them along a little bit, and it will definitely coach them better. So, I think by the end of the season, I mean, not now, but by the end of the season, we might all feel differently about Gray, because I know a lot of us are, very much on the fence with him. Is he good enough? We're not sure. Haven't seen enough. What we have seen, don't know. I think by the end of the season, we might be like, okay, we're okay with it now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of talk in the old chats that we go in and out about Gray being loaned out, and that would probably be the best thing for it. But Nige, can you see Spurs loaning out a £40 million buy? I just don't think that they'll do it, mate. I really don't. Whether he needs it or not, I think the embarrassment for him, of buying someone for 40 million and he can't get in the first team in his position. Yeah, do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Would they
I,
be afraid to loan him out if the right loan came in? Um,
I can't see it for three reasons. So the first one, obviously, we paid the 40 million on him.
yeah,
The second reason, I think he is too versatile, so he can play in like three or four different positions. He can play right back, left back, centre back, and probably a 6 or an 8.
yeah,
I just think he's too valuable that if we did have an injury crisis, he could step in quite easily in a few of the positions. I'm not saying to the standard that we'd lose the player in, but he can still step in. And the third reason is I think don't we have to keep him because of the homegrown club
quota.
trained? We have to keep him for 2 or 3 years or whatever. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I just can't see it. Don't think it's
No, no.
happening.
I think. I mean, we've had this conversation before. We've got a proper DM now in Paulinia for
Mm.
the next year, and I think if Gray's going to stay, the best thing he could do is shadow him basically throughout the season. And I'm not just talking about what he does on the football pitch. You know, learn how he eats, learn what he does when he's not football. Does he just relax when he's at home? Is he just a normal dad? You know, got kids, you know, does the school run, that type of thing, you know, or does he do other stuff to do with sport? As in, he's got his own gym at home. He does a bit of this, he does a bit of that, you know, because
Yeah,
this geezer, Paulinia, I'm not kidding you, uh, he's a big lad. He is a
he is.
big old lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
mm,
think he's 6'5". You know,
crazy.
but he's got the build to go with it, Nige, as well. You know,
Yeah,
and I just think there could be worse thing happen in Archie Gray's life than to shadow Paulinia for this season and learn as
agree.
much as he could or as much as he
Yeah,
can from a defensive midfielder of that quality.
yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I think Gray should learn everything about Polinia, the way he plays, how he conducts himself off the pitch,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say it now. I know we've only got him for a year on loan. I'm almost guaranteed already that we sign him at the end of that year.
Mm.
Um, I think he's going to be an absolute vital component in our squad for the next 2 or 3 seasons. And even if he stayed for 2 or 3 years, and Gray shadowed him and for 2 or 3 years and Gray get plenty of game time. Um, think of the player that he could become after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think learning and getting the experience one way or the other is key for Archie Gray this season.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to learn, and you know, like I say, what better player? A Polini or Bentancur's there as well. He looks like he's the choice to play next to Paulinia when Thomas Frank plays like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to be interesting in so many ways. Nice watching what Frank does, watching players hopefully improve in their natural positions that number one, they want to play in, and number two, they've been picked to play for Tottenham Hotspur to play in. You know,
Mm.
I'm a bit fed up with this square pegs, round holes bit, Nige, that we banged on about for 2 years. I want to see players that play in certain positions across the pitch in their proper positions,
Okay.
you know?
Mate, do you not think we've already seen like I know it's really early days, but do you not think we've already seen like mass improvement on players from last season? Saar looks like a different player
Yeah,
already,
yeah, agreed.
in pre-season and start. I think Richarlison's come in, looks like a different striker playing with a smile on his face, almost like he feels wanted. Um, I think there was another one as well, Bentancur as well.
Oh,
He's
don't
come
doubt
back
that.
this season, and listen. I think I'm the same as you. I love Bentancur before he
Yeah,
got injured. I always thought he was such an elegant footballer, but he's never come back from that injury and looked the same player. Suddenly, I know it's only a couple of games,
mm,
but he suddenly looks back to that old player again. Like you said yesterday, he trusts his body, and maybe he trusts his body. Maybe he's got a better coach.
mm. Yeah, it's for me, the improvement, and again, like you said, Nige, 2 games basically. I know we've had the pre-season games as well, but it looks like Thomas Frank took it proper serious from Super Cup night. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, like I said, for me, the performance and the shift they put in for 70 minutes, regardless of what you say about PSG still in their pre-season, it was only 3 weeks ago they played Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe they weren't 100%. Do you know what I mean? But they're never ticking far off. And I think we shocked the crap out of them, Nige, by pressing them and getting stuck in so early. And that was exactly what we were talking about before the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, exactly. Nita's got a question now. Gray, I like him. Question: have we ever bought a bad player from Leeds? I'm not sure we have. We bought Robbie Keane from Leeds, Paul Robinson. They're both fantastic players. I'm trying to think who else we bought from Leeds. Did we buy
Aaron Lennon?
Aaron Lennon? Yeah, he wasn't bad. Did we buy Chris Fairclough from Leeds going back, or did we get him from Forest? I can't remember where we got him from now.
Oh yeah, I can picture him in a Leeds shirt and all. So it might have been Leeds.
Yeah, I can't remember, but he was all right. Didn't mind it.
Yeah. Let me just get back down to where we were. Yeah, getting back to that, Nita, I watched a bit on Thomas Frank with his interview yesterday. Most of us probably have. And what I did notice was when he was talking about Richarlison and his injuries that he's had in the past and what they're going to do with him going forward, his main thing that he said was that we've got to work the player out. We've got to learn why he was getting injured. Was it too much playing time? Was he too close to the red zone? And the other thing as well is exactly what Nige said earlier on. There's certain managers out there and there's certain players that don't want to be bollocked, right? They want the old arm round the shoulder. You're the greatest, mate. Don't worry about it. Everything, you're the best. Blah, 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 blah.
Feed the ego.
Thomas Frank has said, I've got to work all this out, not just with Richie and the problems that he's had, with his injuries in the past. He's not going to come on interview, I don't think, and slag players off, even the ones that he doesn't like, as to say. He's got what he's got and he's got to work with them, right, at the end of the day. But, agreed with you, Nigel, already, there are very positive signs from players, in the PSG game and in the Burnley game, and from the manager and his coaching staff that are, really positive signs. And the positives definitely outweigh the negatives over the 2 games that we've seen so far. But next weekend will be a much, much sterner test for Tottenham Hotspur FC, I believe.
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely. But what we've got to remember is it is the start of the season. Nobody, like I say, I've watched most of the games this weekend, like most people do. The opening day of the season, you try and watch as much football as you can, try and consume as much, see what teams are good, see what teams are bad. I don't think anyone has really, really impressed me. Watch Forest this afternoon, they were quite good. But other than that, I think everyone's got problems.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Philly's in the house. Big up, Phil. Big up to everyone, by the way. 32 of you in here. Smash the sub for Nige. Smash the sub for the 2 marks. Just helps us grow, helps us get out there. And please like the stream as well, people. We'll keep buzzering on and chatting about our just wonderful Tottenham Hotspur, if you want to call it that. It's bright times, Nige, isn't it? At the end of the day, after, I know we won the UEFA, all right, but some of us just look a bit deeper into performances on the pitch, I suppose, and it was disappointing last season in the league, Nigel. And I don't know what you think, mate, but I don't want to see that again. You know, the turgid football that was going on at White Hart Lane last season. It's not for me, mate.
No, this 100%. That European Cup win or Europa League win was papered over a lot of Spurs cracks. You know, we were poor for 99% of last season. It was a difficult season. You know, it was my first, and I mean, I know you started your YouTube channel around Christmas time. You know, it was my first season with a YouTube channel, and it was so hard to try and be positive. You know, by the end, it was just so much negativity, and but we will just comment on what we're seeing. It was just really poor and really draining. So this season, I mean, we'll get into the transfers in a bit, but this season so far, it's hard not to be positive. There's nothing to be negative about currently, really, apart from what might or may not happen in the window. So for
Yeah.
me, lots of positivity. Yes, we may go to City at the weekend and get a bit of a tonking, but by the by, it's one game. Let's see how we do this season. I'm excited. I think we're going to do all right.
Yeah, I think it's great, Nigel. We've had the game with PSG, ultimately disappointing with the result and conceding the 2 late goals. But for the majority of the game, let's say 75 minutes, no one would have said that Spurs are winning this 2-0. But on the night, Nigel, even though PSG had a lot of possession, Spurs did their job really well, I thought. Really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And barely looked under threat until the substitutions, for me, changed the game. And unfortunately we didn't get across the line, but very positive for that 75 minutes. And I think a lot of Spurs fans would have been very pleased with what they saw in that game, Nigel.
I think like you say, for the first 70 minutes, there was only one team in it. I think we were the better team by far. We scored a couple. We hit the post. They didn't really have too much. A couple of little scrambles in around the box, which was defended brilliantly, chucking our bodies on the line. And like you say, the subs absolutely killed us. Whether it's our subs, we didn't have the quality to come on the pitch, or whether it was them, they did have the quality to come on. So I think, yeah, the subs won it for them and lost it for us. So yeah, it is what it is, but so many positives.
Yeah, and then he took that into this weekend, obviously, because I know they got beaten, Nige, but he must have told them in the changing room afterwards, lads. Look what you've just done there for 70 minutes against PSG. This is just the start of our journey, lads. Come on, be confident in what you're doing. We're going to make it work. And he's gone into the Burnley game yesterday with the changes that he made, and it was very bold of him, Nigel. I might hasten to add, to stick a Gray, a Bergvall, and a Sarr in there. And, people can say, it was only Burnley. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we know there's better teams than Burnley out there, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. And we'll move on to the Burnley game in a bit, Nige, because obviously he played a different shape for the Burnley game that he did to the PSG. Played Bergvall, played Sarr. For me, it was almost like Bergvall started off up top in that type of area, but ended up coming back playing the 8 role sort of thing. But what bothered me about it, Nigel, was Archie being on his own in there, and having such a young Bergvall being the one that had to help him. I mean, don't get me wrong, they coped with it, Nigel. Do you know what I mean?
They did okay, yeah.
With it. And I don't think, like we've said, if it was you're playing Chelsea at home or you're playing Arsenal or Liverpool away or whatever, I don't think Thomas Frank would do that. But
no,
he's coaching, and his people have obviously said to him, look, they've had our game on Thursday. Paulinho, for example, I think he only played 6 games last season in total minutes. You know, so to be asking him to play 90 minutes, second game in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think about that, Nige?
Yeah, I think with Paulinho, he's going to be one that's going to have to be managed a bit. I don't think we're going to see him play every game. I think it is going to be very much he will be. We will pick and choose what games he plays. Like I say, I think he guarantees to play the City game. Wouldn't surprise me if he was on the bench for the Bournemouth game the following week.
Mm,
I think it would be a bit like that with Paulinho. But yeah, it was bold. It was bold from Frank, because he could have quite easily come unstuck picking those players. But
yeah,
and that's a good thing. He trusts them. He trusts these young players. I don't think, you know what? I don't think the captain helped a lot. As much as I think, yeah, Graham Bergvall did okay. When you've got your captain giving the ball away as much as he did that first half,
yeah,
don't think that helps. I think you need that bit of a calming influence. And I think
mm,
maybe this is the problem with Romero, is that on his day, when he plays against the big teams, fantastic. I think when he plays against teams that we should win comfortably against, I think maybe he just lacks that bit of concentration. Maybe takes his eye off the ball a little bit, thinks this is going to be a bit easy. You know, isn't as on it as he should be, and that's probably my only complaint
yeah.
with Romero. I just think he's a big game player, doesn't always turn up for the other games.
Yeah, there was a lot of stray passing in the first half out of the back line yesterday night, which was, again, it's all part of, you know, what they're trying to do, I assume, under Thomas Frank, what he's asking them to do. Now, one question I did want to ask you, Nigel, which was, I think we've only seen one time it happen. This 8-second rule with the goalkeepers now. What do you make of that?
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing is they're obviously trying to clamp down on the goalkeepers wasting time and doing whatever they're doing. I get that. But even just in the Spurs games, I'm seeing other ways of wasting time within the game. Yeah, you've probably seen them as well. We have talked about it a little bit. What are your thoughts on this 8-second rule thing?
I think it's been needed for a long time, to be honest. I think the goalkeepers have. How long have they been doing it? Years, absolutely taking the mick. You know
Yeah,
how we've had a rule before, haven't we? When they've had a 6-second rule, and I can remember the strikers being like counting, and it's like got to
yeah.
about 10, and the keeper's still got it in his hand or bouncing it. It's just like, so I think it's needed. It's the same as every year, though, mate. I guarantee. I mean, I don't know whether you saw the goal earlier for Crystal Palace. Wow.
No, I haven't. No. Go on.
But I think it's one of these where they will clamp down on it first couple of weeks. I think you'll find a month into the season, 6 weeks into the season, the
Mm,
keepers will be taking 10, 12. We could be back to normal. But
yeah.
yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea and needed. Whether we keep up with it is another question.
Yeah, true. I just wanted to say to Lee, I've been with you all the way, mate. I've been with you all the way, and it was Birkinshaw had a right, you know, he did have a right tough time. You know what I mean? We went down the first season that he took over. Terry Neal left Tottenham in a god awful mess, mate. A god awful mess. Yeah. And you know, luckily for us at the time, even though we were relegated, they kept hold of him because he built a team and a squad with a mentality to go and win. I met Keith Birkinshaw a couple of times, one in my later life and one in my younger life. Didn't really understand him much in my younger life, what type of fella he was. Excuse me. But believe it or not, I was sat next to Keith Birkinshaw and I didn't even realise at Henlow Dog Track, right? And we was there for a greyhound sale, right? So obviously I didn't know he was going to be there, and I'm literally he's sitting here next to me. Anyway, we get chatting and that. He ends up bidding for the dearest dog on the day. Don't know what it was. Him and his mates bought this dog. It was a few years ago now, about $7.5 grand, something like that at the sales. But we chatted about football, you know, and I was saying to him, you know, like when you was the manager, Keith, I was up in the shelf, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. But he's just so You know, you can talk to him about football, and it doesn't matter what you say to him, you get a proper, sensible answer. Do you know what I mean? He's just a lovely, lovely man, very down to earth, from Yorkshire, and
That's
loved
good.
him. Absolutely
Mm.
loved him, Nige. And
Yeah.
yeah, fantastic fella. Really, really, really nice bloke. And so pleased to have had him as Tottenham Hotspur manager for those few years. You know, it was a
It
roller
was.
coaster, but Keith got us there in the end. You know, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, no, he was a good manager, and that comes from when I first started supporting Spurs. Birkinshaw was the manager, and yeah, he brought me some great memories.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And Simon, you're spot on. There's just, I don't know if you was in when we was talking about this. That can't happen, and I don't think it will happen, Simon. I don't
Yeah,
think, you know. Uh, yeah, no. No, I'm not going to say anything silly. No, that can't happen. End of for me. You know, that happens in games like yesterday, where he's confident that those two can step in and they're learning enough, yeah, to be able to do the job against the Burnley, and just
mm,
the promoted teams, if you like, a Sunderland, a Brentford, you know, maybe I don't know, a Crystal Palace. But then I don't think that'll be enough. Then they're going to need more. You know, they'll
gonna
need
say,
more of the experienced players in Nige, wouldn't they?
do you see us signing another midfielder? Because I was just looking at it while you were talking, and I was thinking, yeah, yeah, Polinia and Bentancur as our two.
Yeah.
Well, what if Bentancur gets injured? I
Well,
mean, Bassuma's gonna be sold, we would think.
yeah,
So if he is sold, are we going to bring someone else in? Because if we do get an injury, if Polini gets a suspension, which is quite likely, he gets booked a lot, and then Bentancur goes down with an injury, then we are left with Gray and Bergvall.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is another thing, Nige, isn't it? Where they've got to work out with Basuma, because
Mm.
I'm like you. I think he's had too many chances and he needs to go. But what I will say is that this is the type of system that someone like Basuma would thrive in. Polinia, if
Yeah,
he played in a double pivot with Polinia like Bentancur did, you would probably
yeah,
see the best of Basuma, because
agreed.
Polinia would be your ball winner like he is. He would give it
Yeah,
to a Basuma who would drive 20 yards with it, because that's what he's good at. Yeah. And give it to someone better. Give it to a Kudos. Give it to an Eze when he's here. Give it to a Savinio when he's here, if he's here, when they're here. Hashtag Levy, hurry up. Sorry about that. You know, so I feel we're still lacking in the forward areas. We've said many times we need a winger, we need a 10, we definitely need a striker, but I can't see it happening. And Sava made a good point on his show this morning, and I never thought of it this way. As average as we think Richie and Solanke are on a normal day, you know, yesterday Richie, brilliant, yeah. But we want the consistency. Now, Sava came across with a point on his show is we all want that 30 goal a season striker, Nige, don't
yeah,
we? But
yeah,
if you could split that between two, and Richie did give you 15, and Solanke did give you 15, so you got your 30 that way. When
yeah,
either one was playing, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Would you be happy with that? Is that enough for you?
Um, Depending, other players were going to have to chip in as well. It couldn't just be Richie 15, Solanke 15. Your Kudus would have to get 10, 12.
Yeah,
Your whoever's on the left would have to get 10, 12. Your Eze, if it's him coming in, he'd have to get a few as well. So I wouldn't have a problem if they're all chipping in.
yeah,
When Spurs were at their best, so over the last years under Poch, we had a Harry Kane getting 30 goals. We had a Dele Alli getting 15, 16, a Sonny getting 15, 16.
yeah.
Ericsson getting 15. They'd all chip in. So I think it's okay having strikers that only score 15, but everyone else needs to chip in as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like, Nige, I feel you're spot on there, because I feel like when if they do get these targets, if they do get an Eze and a Savinho, and you've got the kudos, again, we need more, right? Because there's going to be injuries, yeah. There's going to be suspensions, and are we then going back to relying on a Gray, on a Bergvall, and if you do rely on them that particular night, and you are flying, and you do take a loss, not necessarily because of them, but just because you've changed your team up and it went wrong. Because there will be times that it does go wrong, Nige. I think anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we still have so much to do this window. And I think the next couple of weeks are absolutely huge. We definitely need to decide what we're doing with Basuma. I don't know whether you'd sell him, Mark, but I just think he's let the club down. But if we're not going to get better, then we'd have to keep him, I guess. I think someone said in the chat that he's not a 6, he's an 8. Absolutely.
He
Let's
is.
play him as an 8 then. Let's play him as an 8. But start
Yeah.
turning up to training, mate. Start turning up to training every day and putting the work in.
Yeah, I just want to say, Nige, I agree with you. Basuma is an 8. He is an 8. What I'm saying is, Bentancur really, he's not a 6. Bentancur, he's a deep lying playmaker.
Yeah.
Right. So that suits him to be to be next to someone like Paulina. But if you notice Bentancur, it wasn't so much of that as what he was doing. He was winning all the second balls. Everything that bounced, he won. Yeah. Everything. It was like he was given a new lease of life, knowing that, if I do lose the ball, I've got my mate behind me, and they've got to get through him before they get through to the defence. You know what I mean? That type of thing. I thought he was brilliant against PSG, Bentancur. And I think any other midfielder that's in our squad, should be watching how those two performed in that game if they want to, be thought of playing in that position, if you like. Because there's a lot of fighting going on, we've got the young players, and I know we say we need more, which we do. But you get an Eze, you get a Savinho, you get a Kulu coming back later on, But hopefully, you get a James Maddison coming back again. Whether he does or not, I don't know. Hopefully he will. Hopefully for him he will. But he's got a bad injury. So fingers crossed for the fella. No doubt was our best player last season. James Maddison as closed in as he was by everyone. When he was on the pitch, he was pretty good. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But hopefully, Levy's going to buy some of these players. Back to the Basuma comment, I have got to say, Nige, I totally agree with you. Just sell him, get the 15, 20 million for him. I think he's had enough chances. I was just putting his name forward because we have got the Paulina Bentancur, but like you say, what's after that? You know what I mean? When one's injured or one's on a suspension, like you say, and we need another one. And that was why I mentioned Basuma, because I agree he's an 8, but if he was playing next to a Paulina, we know he can tackle on his day. He can get a bit stuck in. He's a bit overzealous at times. We know that, but he is one of those players that when Paulina gives it to him, he can progress the ball 20 yards. He can run with it. That was what he was good at.
Yeah, and Paulina is that player who just sits there. There and puts tackles in and gives it easy. And you even saw Bentancur. Bentancur's a bit like that as well. He likes to drive. He gets the ball and he'll happily drive up the pitch with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Basuma's similar. But again, for me, Basuma's had his chances. He needs to be. I want players to play for Spurs that actually want to play for Spurs and don't want to piss their career up the wall, because like I said, someone said it in chat, I think Wednesday night he lets us down. Because if he comes on in that final at 2-0, at 2-1, shuts up shop, we win the game. And I think from what he did and not being there, I think it really let the club down.
I agree with you, mate. I can't say that I don't and say something different, because This channel is about opinions and telling our truths, and that is exactly where I am with it, mate. I think you're absolutely spot on comment. It don't get much clearer and more concise than that. He's let the club down, and he's let himself down. He's let himself down, Nige. You know, how many times do you go to school and turn up late? How many times do you go to work, turn up late, and your boss says nothing? You know, eventually someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and go, "Oi!" And Frank's not stupid. He knows that Basuma's got previous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not stupid. These players have either got to be all in, yeah, or ship out.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's nothing against Basuma Puss. I think he's a top player on his day. I just think it's his personality, isn't it? He seems like that, very much like, almost like, you know, I'm going to live my life. Is what it is. You know, I turn up when I turn up, you know, and he's very casual in that sense. It shows it on the pitch sometimes that he can be a bit casual. And I think that's the way he lives his life. Listen, like I say, on his day, he's a top player. I just want someone in who's really wants to play for Spurs. But if we sell him, do we replace him, Cookie?
Well, this is the thing, mate, isn't it? And you know, if they're going for the attacking midfielders, if Basuma goes, do you think we've got enough? Because I don't think we have. No. We've got the two for me, which is Paulinho and Bentancur when he's playing a double pivot.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Which I think for Spurs is the way to go, Nige. I really do think that is generally the way to go. Whether we've got the players that can consistently do that with Champions League and everything else that goes with it, I just think it's going to be tough, mate. And it's about time that Levy done what he did with Ange. He spent £400 million on that geezer.
Mm.
Whether they were his signings or not, Nigel, or club signings or whatever they were, it was still £400 million odd pound under his reign. You know, give Frank some tools. He's got to give him some tools, man.
Exactly. And the way we play and the way we're hopefully going to play with a three behind that striker and an exciting three, and kudos, hopefully Eze, hopefully Savinho. They're three very attacking players. I think you're right. I think we're always going to need that double pivot there. You know, just sat there protecting, because we are going to be very attacking.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like you got your back six in it, and then your front four, and it's you know, these six are there to do that job, and you, and you, you do what you have to do. Go and score the goals. You know what I mean, and entertain everyone. I'll get entertained just as much. I don't know about you, Nige, at watching a solid, cohesive defensive performance as such. Do you know what I mean? When you can see that what Thomas Frank did against PSG, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, wow, this geezer really knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? For that 75 minutes, 70 minutes, whatever it was like PSG done nothing, Nige. They done nothing.
No, I agree. As great as it is watching your side attack, and listen, we're Spurs fans. We like attacking football the Spurs way, whatever that is. But you know what? When I was watching the PSG games, and I was when I was watching people chuck themselves in front of balls and blocking balls and getting tackles in, I was off my seat every time. It's like, come on, get in. It's like, it's what you want to see, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And you know, it's nice to see training videos like that as well, Nige, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? It was early days, and he had them doing that sort of stuff, and I can guarantee you the previous manager never had them doing stuff like that. Pretty much, anyway. So we move on, Nige. We've done PSG, we've done the Burnley. We'll talk about the City game first, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit about transfers. Before we carry on, 60 of you in here, 60 of you in here, which is brilliant.
Nice
for us. Thank you very much, all the chat, for being in. Please hit the sub button for Nige at Pure Coys and for 2 Mark Show. We really appreciate it. And hit the like button, please. I'll try and catch up in the chat when Nige is talking. But I'm still very new to all this stuff, so bear with me, people. if you've got any questions, anything you want to ask one of us, please put it in the chat. Keep it football, by the way. All right, then. Happy days. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Right, let me carry on here. Oh, by the way, the sheriff as well. Spoke to the sheriff. He's down the pub with the old meat drawer tonight. And you know what he's like. He's been on the sherbets. So anyway, he says to me, if I can get a signal when I'm walking home, I'll pop on. That's what he said. So it might be a slightly skewed mark, whether he pops on the way home or once he gets home. Who knows? But he may well be joining us, depending how long we go on for. So the sheriff is in town. He's just not home yet. But there we go. Rich, it's such a catch-22, Rich. Isn't it? It really is a catch-22. Must be a difficult decision for the manager, to cut a player and think, I don't want him no more because of his attitude. Because we all know Basuma, he has his bozo moments, but he has got a bit of talent. He hasn't really shown it fully at Spurs, but he has got a bit of talent, But if the manager said to him, you're not required, mate, you're for sale, you need to go, then I wouldn't be, against it. Let's put it that way.
No, and it is all ifs and buts at the moment, isn't it? Because we are all kind of putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 800.
Yeah.
Obviously he's allegedly injured, and we're all starting to think, oh no, he's not. But maybe he actually is injured. We'll have to see. It's going, like I say, the next 2 weeks of this window is going to be interesting. We won't really get our answers until the window's shut.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Yeah, Lee Birkinshaw started off with Perham and Oddle, and look what he built. Buying players like Graham Roberts from Weymouth for 40 grand. What a player he turned out to be. Oh, my word. And if only you could go out there now and pick up players, I don't know, for 400 grand. Let's call it that, and end up with players like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely superb. But the dressing room, the mentality in the dressing room, the camaraderie in the dressing room, in those times was apparently, I was told, amazing by a couple of the players that were about then. But yeah, it is what it is. Simon, Morgan Rogers' name is going around. I don't know. Nigel, you said it had been a bit quiet today, didn't you? You'd kept your eye out, and we all know about the Eze and the Savinos, but has there been anything about, is it Hencapi and Rogers? Anything about them?
I've not seen anything. The way I see it with Morgan Rogers, I think that's I don't know. I think his name is just being chucked in now. I don't know whether anyone else in the chat has heard anything, but I think if we don't get Eze, we may go for a Rogers. But I don't see it happening. I think Eze's surely got to be all but done, isn't it? We wouldn't go this far down again into another transfer and miss out. Surely that would be a little embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Be mega embarrassing. But if it don't happen, I've got to say, I'm waiting for Philly. Philly knows, and probably most of you all know it here, that our mate Phil will not now anymore. He's decided not to comment anymore on these transfers while the window's open. He's ready to let rip on September the 1st after 7 o'clock. Might be the 2nd. Who knows? But Phil, we love you, man. We love your opinions. We love you, how so straightforward you are. And Phil, we're going to do this show, man, on deadline day or the day after, whenever you're available. It's going to be brilliant. We're not getting a replacement for Biss, so I hope he can sort his head out. Yeah, it's only up to him, mate. I don't know what he's got to do to prove to Frank that, he deserves to stay. But that'll be for them to sort out now. I think with, what's he doing? Blowing balloons and oh, man, being late for training. There's no excuse for being late for training, though, Rich, is there? Not unless you've had a bereavement in the family or something. And you make a phone call then, didn't you? It's
once or twice.
You know what I mean?
Once or twice, okay, but
just kept doing it over and over again. Like he's some sort of king that can do what he wants. He's not. But there you go. Time for Biss to go. We need a steady chairman. Positive teamwork, says Nita. Biss is rude. You're wearing our badge and you need to fix up or see ya. Totally agree, Nita. 100%. 100%. There we go. Oh,
I hope
Simon,
so,
who do you
Simon.
think it's going to be, Simon? Who do you think it's going to be then? Let us know in the chat, Simon. That'll be interesting to see who you think that the big surprise signing will be. I'll catch up with you down the chat somewhere. Yeah, spot on, Archer. Nice to see you, mate.
Yeah.
Big up to everyone who's in here. I've said hello to a lot of people, but you've obviously come piling in over the past
That's
half
right.
hour. So, yeah, big up to all of you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, we agree on that, Darren. I think Nigel agrees on that as well, that if this was about last week, it would have been a different story. Who knows? We'll never know. Yeah, so Nigel, I'll tell you what, this is Dave's coming, 15 days till the window closes. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? 15 days to go. You know, Nigel, that a lot of managers, and I know Frank's only just come in, but a lot of managers would like to have their signings in so they can have a pre-season with them, get over what they want from them, and so on. Obviously, Spurs haven't worked like that. We've got a couple in, 3 in with Tell. Savinio and Eze seem to be going on and on and on. Are we getting one of them, Nige? Are we getting both of them? What are them upstairs doing?
I'm confident we get both. I really am. I'm confident both will get over the line. I think Savio will be after next weekend. I don't think anything's going to happen now for a while. But again, we will see. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. But I think the Eze, don't know. The thing, isn't it? One minute you think Eze's coming, the next minute you're like, I don't know. I'm not so sure. But I do think we are going to make signings. I definitely think we're going to make signings. I do think, maybe stick up for the club a little bit here and say that sometimes you can't get the players in you want straight away. Sometimes you do have to play the long game with them. I don't think Eze was particularly a signing we were going to make. I think we were maybe forced into it. And I think I heard someone say on another, it might be Savo again, when somebody said that I think that if Madison hadn't got injured, we may have gone for an Alcanus to play understudy to Madison. But as it is, Madison got injured, so we can't then go for an Alcanus because it doesn't look good. I think we have to go for a big name player. So I think that's maybe why we went for Eze. But I see Eze getting done in the next couple of days. I really hope it does. I don't think I can take another 2 weeks of Willie won't he? And literally refreshing Twitter every 20 minutes. So I'm hoping we get to here we go in the next couple of days. It did look like when he come off today, and I know stupid body language, suddenly we all become body language experts when we're watching players. And I don't know, just the way he was thanking the crowd when he come off, and he did a lap of almost like he went to the away fans at the end on his own when all the other players had come off the pitch and clapped them. So maybe there's something in that. We'll see. But I don't know. A lot of people I know are losing their heads because Glasner come out and said that he expects Eze to be in the side Thursday night
Yeah,
for
I
the
saw
Europa.
that. I saw that.
But it's obvious, isn't it? Every manager's going to say that.
Yeah.
Frank come out and said that he's looking forward to working with Sonny this season. He must have known Sonny was going. So manager's just towing the line now.
Yeah. What do you think of this, Nige? I think this is a good. I know we've spoke about Mainu in the past because his name come up a few weeks ago. Is he too young to come in and play a role? An England international that's played many games for Man United, and I think he's generally a very good player. He's obviously got improvement in him as well under different coaches and different styles. But what do you think about Mainu, Nige?
I like Maino. I think he's decent. I think he obviously had I think he got injured a bit last season, didn't he? So he was in and out for injury and then struggled to get back in the side, which is quite normal for a young player. But he did have that breakthrough season with United when he was fantastic. Obviously played for England in the Euros, was one of our better players. I definitely think there's a player in now. And if we can get him on loan, he's the kind of player that if we do lose Biss, I'd be more than happy for him to come in. He fits the Tottenham mould as well, young, English. And, if we can get him on loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy, I think that'd be a great signing for Spurs.
And what are you thinking about Simon's comment there, Nige?
Again, another good player, another player I like. Would he come to Spurs? Probably. He's not going from Chelsea to Tottenham. I don't see why we couldn't get him. I'm not sure. Is he up for sale? I've not heard anything to say that Atletico are trying to sell him, but I definitely, again, another one. I think he's better than what we've got, so I'd take him. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see a Conor Gallagher ever coming to Spurs. If I'm truly honest with you, I think his family are all Chelsea, as far as I know, and I know that shouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things because a player shouldn't be thinking about that type of thing. I think we've tried for him under Ange on numerous occasions. It was made very clear that Ange wanted Conor Gallagher and not really anyone else to do that job in there. And whatever progress was made on a deal, I think it was made clear that he didn't want to come and play for Spurs. So I don't see what would change in that, but you never know. You never know. I wouldn't say no to him either. I think he's got we talk about players like Sarr getting around the pitch. You watch this geezer get around the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
top player.
Very, very good player. There we go. We've got a super chat from Reefer. Big up. I know there's some history, but Levy is trying to get class players the clubs won't sell. It's not easy. Nige?
It's not easy. I am still incredibly confused that we've been tracking Eze since last Monday morning.
Yeah.
His buyout clause was Friday, and we didn't activate it. And now we're still after him. And I know that people say, well, Spurs don't think he's worth 68 million. But are we not going to have to pay around that if we want him? We're still going to have to pay around that. So why don't we just activate the clause?
I think, and I said this on the show yesterday, I think it's not about the price. I think it's about the payment terms.
Gotcha.
So from what I've read, Eze's agreed terms. Yeah, like Savinio, apparently. He's agreed to the terms of the contract to play for the club. That's what I've been informed. But the deals still have to be done between the clubs. Now, my take on Eze is that Parish wanted 3 equal payments of the 68 million quid. Yeah, but it was like one this window, one in January, one next window. So basically 68 million quid in a year. That's what they wanted. Levy ain't going to do that. You know it. Everyone in the chat knows it. He ain't going to do it. He's not going to do it. So I would imagine they're tussling, over how far they can eke it out, over how many years can they do it over the years of the contract, which I would imagine Parish ain't having that. Right, so somewhere they've got to meet in the middle. Whether they get to that point or not, and they can shake hands on it, who knows? I believe it will get done. If it don't get done, then I think Levy's in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. I think it gets done as well. From what I'm reading now, something's just come up on Twitter again. It could all be rubbish. I'm just reading what people are putting on.
Yeah.
But it says, breaking, we understand that total agreement has been reached between Tottenham Hotspur and Crystal Palace on all aspects of the deal for Eberechi Eze, apart from the fee, which is kind of important. But it would kind of tell you that maybe they've agreed a structure, but not the fee. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What was I going to say? Could it be a possibility, Nige, Can't remember where I heard this. Is there, so say for argument's sake, Eze was 68 million, right? That's the fee that's bantered about. Could it be that Parish would agree to longer terms, for argument's sake? So let's say Parish wanted the free payments over the year, the next 3 windows, including this one. Could it be that Daniel Levy's, for argument, said, right, the best I can do is 3 years, we'll chop it up into as many bits as you want it and do it like that. But because we're doing that, you can have 72 million, 73 million, whatever it may be. So when we talk about people meeting in the middle, do you know what I mean? One might have to give a bit and the other takes a bit. You know what I mean, Nige?
Yeah.
And that could be where the problem lies. That could be where the problem lies.
I think it probably is. I think we're talking like, not minute issues because, we're talking a lot of money here. Millions to us is a hell of a lot of money. But I think for clubs wise, I think in business, I think in football, I think we're talking about like fine issues now. I don't think it can't be far away. And just the way as it was today after the games, I just think it must be close. It's got to be close.
Yeah, it can't be far away. And the Savinio thing, I think that's just it. I don't think he's injured at all. I don't think he's injured. And if he is, it'll be minute. But I just think they don't want him playing against them next weekend, mate. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't think Pep wants him playing against them next week. So they'll just try and hang that deal out because they know they've got a bit of time after next weekend, another few days to get it dealt with, another week or so. Yeah, and I'm sure it will get done. And if it don't, again, Levy, what you're doing? Where's your other targets if you can't get that one?
Yeah, it could. It could be one, and it sounds stupid, and I'm sure that maybe a lot of people will think, "Oh, they can't do that." But it may be one where they might say, "You can have him for this price. We agree this price, but we don't want you to play him this weekend. Don't want you to play him against us." I know that's in loan deals you can't do that, but maybe like you say, you might either just drag it out till Friday afternoon, and it all might go through Friday afternoon, and then it's too late for him to play at the weekend anyway, or maybe they put an agreement in that he doesn't play in the game.
Yeah.
If he's fit.
Yeah. Spurs 1961. I do agree with you to a point. There's no point flooding the team with a load of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I think they need to be integrated, not necessarily one at a time. They all deserve their chances. But like we said, in a lesser game, for argument's sake, play that pivot and put Gray next to Paulinho. Yeah, let him learn. Let him watch and learn during the game what the fella's doing. He's right next to him. He's 5 yards, 10 yards away from him. Watch him. Bergvall, for me, a very good player. He's still got stuff to learn. He wants to hold on to the ball too much. He wants too much time to do. He might have it in his brain, but his feet ain't moving quick enough. Yeah, that's how I see Bergvall. But he'll learn. He'll learn. He's very young. I've got high hopes for Bergvall. I don't think he's Lamine Yamal yet, and nowhere near, by the way. But you know what I mean? Is with a bit of time, he could turn out to be a decent player.
Great.
Just wanted to say, Reefer, thanks very much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, this is a good point, Nige. I don't think they will do it. One, because Solanke hasn't had a pre-season. But
no.
Would you have thought, Nige, of playing against City instead of the because I know Thomas Frank doesn't do a rigid 4. He'll change to a 3, but he has the 2 in front against PSG. But could you see a 3-5-2 against City? That type of have those proper. You've got your 2 and the other 3, but they're pressing as well, not like mad, but just shutting them down and stopping them playing these little triangles and getting out of tight spaces. Is that how you see it against City?
I see us.
Weekend?
Yeah, I see us playing exactly the same way, like you said earlier, as we did against PSG. I think it'd be exactly the same team. I think it'd be, Paulinho, Bentoncourt and Sarr. And I think it'd be Kudus and Richarlison as your front two. So
Yeah. Do you think it will just be a pressing game, Nige, against City? Like from our point of view, is it a case of they are going to have a lot more of the ball than us, and we've got to be careful that we don't press too hard again, and that we do it in blocks. Do you know what I mean? Don't just let one go and do it. You know, there's 5 midfielders. I know they're not all going to go whoosh into that one compact space and leave all that over there open, but the way they do it. It seems very, very efficient. How it's already well oiled. If it's going to be like that,
I think it might be one of those games where we let them have the ball as much as they want in their own half, and as soon as they enter the Spurs half, we're onto them. You know what I mean? That's when the pressing really starts. I don't see us pressing fully, but I definitely see, as soon as they get into our half, like getting tight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, Nige. Very interesting. Just to move on to Richie, what did you make of his performance yesterday, Nige? And how does he get that consistency? Is it a lot of it to do with the manager and the arm around the shoulder stuff and telling him he's wonderful and that sort of thing? What are your thoughts on that?
It helps, definitely, 100%. I think. I don't know whether you've noticed, but he looks leaner as well. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight. So I think, big up here. I think he's definitely helps. Maybe an arm around him. Richarlison seems like the kind of player who wants to be loved, who who prefers an arm around him rather than a rollicking. And service, the biggest thing, service. Big up, Angus.
Yeah.
He's getting balls in the box. He will score goals. Now, he's not Harry Kane. Of course he's not. He's not your world-class striker, but he is a Brazilian number 9 and he does score goals. So get him service and he will score. Don't get me wrong, he'll miss as well because he's not brilliant, but it's all about service for me, for him and Solanke.
Yeah. Now, you can't look at the chat, Nige. Don't look. But I've seen Simon's answer to the question of who the big surprise could be. Okay. So what do you think of this, Nige, from Simon?
Oh, now, obviously, we're linked with him a couple of weeks ago, but it was only links.
Yeah.
Well, it says to me if we're in for him, which I'm not sure whether we are, then the Savinho deal's not happening. So it's one or the other, isn't it? Because I don't see us getting both.
Yeah.
So
they're rated at the same sort of price. City wants 70 odd million. I know that's the sort of dough that I think Milan are looking for the hour as well. If you had a choice, Nige, who are you taking out of the pair?
Honestly, it's a difficult one because I've not seen enough of either. I'd probably go Savio just because he's had that year in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I do fine with Leao. I think he's either brilliant and he will be the best player on the pitch and rip teams apart, or he goes missing. So for me, it's like we say all the time, consistency. I want a player that's going to be consistent. And I think if I'm going to choose, I think Savio's probably got more chance of being consistent more often. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of Leao, very good player. But like you say, Savio's had that year. He was spectacular in Spain for Girona, wasn't he, before he came over to City. Now, I know he hasn't played a lot for City, but we have seen a bit of twinkle toes from him, haven't we? And what I will say to Spurs fans is that, I don't know how to say this, we told you about Kudus. We did tell him. We told everyone. We all know you knew he was a good player. We're not saying that. But we said, wait until this geezer gets going and he'll be the one that's lifting the bums off of the seats. Right? For me, it's going to take some I love the Paulinia signing, by the way. Right? But to get players off their seat, for a player to get people off their seat, like I think this bloke's going to, right? We are going to be, Savinio on the other side is going to do the same thing. And for all them people, yeah, that are watching Savinio's and Kudos's and Eze's, if it happens, brilliant. Brilliant. We still need more. I hasten to add, I'm going to put a little caveat on there. We need a lot more still. But like we said yesterday, even if you had 2 of them free playing, yeah, against the lesser side, if you like, because you're going to want them fit when you're playing the big boys, we should be beating teams, Nige, shouldn't we? Let's be fair. Sorry, mate.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. I think we will. I think it's just the thought of those 3 in an attacking area. We haven't seen it for years at Tottenham, have we?
No,
For
we haven't, mate.
years,
Long time.
you know. Even under Poch, we had players that did the business. You know, Dele Alli had lots of skill, did the business. Ericsson, but no players. I mean, Ali was a little bit, but that thing that Kudus did the other day when the ball was played over to him and he just foot behind the back of his other leg and just controlled the ball in mid-out, and it got the fans straight off their seats. If we've got 3 players like that, oh my word, we're in for some fun. Listen, we might not win anything, but what we've wanted as Spurs fans for a long time is players to get excited about. Thank you, David. And I think we will have that if we get these players in.
Yeah, fair plays, Nige. Nige, are you all right for time, or do you need to jump? I can see you're busy.
No.
Just asking. Are you okay?
No, it's fine. Yeah, I got my servant getting me drinks. So yeah.
Oh, I'm
She's been a
with
good
you.
girl.
I'm with you. Lisa, where's me drink? Happy days, mate. Happy days. Brilliant stuff, Nige. If you do need to go, Nige, you just let me know, mate. All right.
Yeah, all good.
Chatting
Mate.
away like good uns here, and it seems like everyone in the chat's enjoying it. Still 50 people in here. And yeah, bang the subscribe button, please, everyone. I'm going to be shameless in a minute as well, by the way. Bang the subscribe for Nige. Bang the subscribe for us. Hit the like button. And both channels, by the way, it makes me feel a bit better if I say both channels. Both channels can do memberships now, super dupers, and stickers as well. So we're not asking for them. We're just letting you know that they are available if you'd wish to join either of the channels. And thank you so much if you do, or even if you don't. Where are we up to? Barry. Seems like we're going to get the usual. We tried. Then buy kids and cheap nobodies. All because we do not pay the asking price for top quality players. And I hasten to add, Barry, we're not even trying to buy top quality players. We're down a couple of levels. Eze's very good. Yeah, England international, very good player, and he is a massive upgrade for Spurs at the moment. For me, Kudos was as well. Savinio is too. Hincapi has been mentioned. He is too. You know, Morgan Rogers. Yes, please. I'm not going to say no. Yeah. You know what I mean? So at least we've been linked to players, yeah, or are in talks with players that are going to come into the first team. I think that's most important. If you imagine all those names coming in, with Kulu coming back, with hopefully Maddison coming back, with Dragusin coming back, all those names we just mentioned, Eze, Savinio, Hincapi, Morgan Rogers. I think there's been links to a couple of other players as well in the last couple of weeks, but proper players of the level that we're asking for. We're not asking for that because we know we're not going to get that, but, you know, a bit underneath that.
Yeah.
You know, very important, mate.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
We'll see, Barry. We'll see if we're going to get the usual Levy tripe or whether he's going to back up his Bobby words, if you want to call him that. We're going to win this and we're going to win that. So it's up to him, isn't it? Let's see how deep his pockets are. Simon with a bit of information there. I'm sure we'll give that a watch later on. Yeah, get over to Last Word on Spurs later if you want to see that. Paul O'Keefe will be on the show tonight. So I'm sure he will let everyone know what he knows. Let's see. There's Archer talking to Rich. Darren says, I don't rate Gallagher. I just see him as a pigeon chaser. Nige.
I think every team needs a pigeon chaser, don't they? I don't think you look at all the teams that win leagues, that win cups. Everyone's got a pigeon chaser in the team, so I haven't got an issue with it. I don't. Yes, is he your top class? Is he your player that's going to get you off your seat? No, he's not. But hopefully, we're bringing those in. We need a couple of workhorses as well. Um, but as you've already said, I don't see Gallagher's joining anyway. He is a Chelsea boy. So I can't see it happening. But would I take him? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All day long, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All day long. It's not a question, but if Mainoo joins, then Archie Gray definitely needs to go out on loan. Agreed. But Phil, they ain't gonna do it. They're not gonna send him out on loan. It ain't gonna happen. I just can't see it. I'll be shocked if he did. Mainly for me, Mainoo for me is more of a 6. Harvey Elliott, now that's an 8 and an upgrade on Basuma. Now, there's other links. The links to Harvey Elliott have gone very quiet. Very, very quiet. Is that one that could be a surprise, Nige? Harvey Elliott, because it was mooted about, then it's gone very quiet. We've all said, or the majority of people that I've seen have said, cool, yeah, we'll take Elliott. I know I would, right? Could that be the surprise, Nige, that, that Simon was talking about earlier on when he posted in the chat?
Possibly. I mean, like you say, we linked with him and then it's gone quiet. Then it's been linked with a few other teams. It's gone quiet. I heard a couple of days ago that Palace were looking at him as a replacement for Eze, and that's gone quiet. But as for Mainu, if Mainu comes in, then Archie Gray goes out on loan. That kind of defeats the object of what we're talking about, is bringing in extra bodies for that midfield if we get injuries. So I just don't. Yeah, like we've already said, I don't think Gray goes anywhere. I think he stays. Another body would be brilliant. I'd love an Elliott in the side. I think he'd be fantastic.
Yeah, me too. Niall, in answer to your question, he's asked, just tuning in, been out all day. Have I missed any news regarding transfers? Niall, no, you haven't. Been bits and pieces about saying that the Eze deal's done, but nothing's been announced by Romano or Ornstein or any of the big ITKs. You know what it's like, different bits saying we're close, everything's done apart from this and, that and the other. No is the answer to your question. Still waiting, Niall. Still waiting, mate. Thanks for that, Phil.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Nita's saying she hates that. Mainoo came through United Academy system and we are loaning out our academy players like they've gone past their sell-by date. What do you think about that comment from Nita, Nige?
I kind of agree and I kind of disagree. Mainoo has come into United side, made the first team place his own for a season, and becoming an England national and played in the Euros. Sadly for our academy players, they've not done that yet, have they? We haven't had a Mikey Moore come in and establish himself for a season in the first team. Sadly, hopefully that will happen soon. But yeah, I get the point. I do get the point. I just think so much pressure in football now, isn't there? Every manager has to succeed. And that's the problem. We don't get to see as many young players because a lot of managers are fearful of putting them in case we lose. So I get it. I just don't think any of our academy players are quite up to standard yet.
No, this is the problem, isn't it, Nige? It's the golf, and the problem is once you start including them in squads, if that level is massive to the drop, the time comes where you have to make the decision: are we keeping them here, or are we sending them out on loan? Like with a Lancashire, like with a Scarlet, and many others, because I know a load of them have gone out on loan. But at the end of the day, Nita, I see exactly where you're coming from. Like Nige says, there's two sides to it, isn't there? At least with Mainoo, they have developed him. And if they did sell him, they're going to get 40 million quid for him plus, aren't they? So at least they're making something out of it. They'll have made a shed load of dough out of it. But We don't seem to do that. We're just loan out, loan out, loan out. You know what I mean? Some of these kids that we're loaning out now are 21, 20, 21, you know, and they've been at Spurs quite a while now. You know, a few of them might have made the odd appearance, but they never seem to break through. It's like that lad Ajayi that played against, was it Elfsborg last season? Played the one game, scored a goal, assisted, looked dangerous. Looked dangerous, didn't he? No, and then never see him again.
Yeah.
Never see him again. But there you go. Yeah, agree with that one, Philly. He is Chelsea for I can never see him coming to Spurs. Plenty of Levy lad going on here. There's no doubt about it. I'm getting fed up of waiting, Archer. Fed up of waiting. And what do you think of this comment from Rich Nige? We have to be prepared to potentially pay above market value to get our player.
Yeah, agreed.
And this is what I don't see why we're not Eze with a contract. You know, they might have to pay not the 68, but a bit more to elongate the terms of the deal.
Yeah. If we're not prepared to pay, you know, the way they want the money structured, then like you say, offer an extra 5 million so we can get it to the way we want to pay it. I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not privy to it all, but it doesn't make sense. It seems simple to us, doesn't it? But
yeah, deals can be complicated, mate. It's all right for us to sit here and say, "Oh, get it done." You know, but there are a lot of intricacies. You know, players moving home. You know, maybe that's not the case for Eze, but you know, the deal that gets done, does it secure him for the rest of his life? Blah, blah, blah. If I go there, can I earn another 100 grand a week? Some players think like that, Nige. You know, some players just want to be in London. You know?
Yeah, agents don't help either. You know, I expect they got the agent constantly on you saying, I'll get you a better deal now, or I'll get you a little bit more money here. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And this didn't help either. Phil, spot on here. Wasted 2 weeks chasing Morgan Gibbs White. Thought they was going to get it done. Yeah, and then Marinakis does his usual. And just don't know what he done. Sat on his head, put the pen in his hand and held it for him to sign the contract. Who knows? Who knows, Phil? It's madness. Absolute madness. Listen, there's 50 of you in here. And as much as I ask you to sub to Nige, please sub to us. We are literally, what is it, Nige? 14 away? 14 away from 600. Please, people, smash the sub. Get us to 600 tonight. Otherwise, I'm going to have to you have to put up with me again tomorrow morning. And I'll be asking you for the 10 that's left or whatever it is. So you might as well just hit it now. Hit it now and you're done.
Get it done.
Up to you all. I hope you do. 14 of you out of 52. Smash that like button. Smash that sub button. Smash it for Pure Coys as well. Brilliant stuff, Nige. Nita's saying, it's Enoch money. Levy is small fry when it comes to spending on players. He just knows how the banking system works. He may well do, Nita. I don't want to comment on what Levy's doing with Tottenham's money and his money because for me, he's just not spending enough of it at the moment on the right players. He spent 400 million. Yeah, got a few good players. Now we're seeing that under this manager because there's a bit of structure, a bit of tactics going on, but we need more. Even after Eze comes, if he does, and Savinio, and if he comes, we still need more. The squad needs first team players. That's how I see it. Sorry, I'll keep rattling on about it. Archer, yeah, it can make a massive difference, Archer, can't it? You know, we finished 10th this year and we could have finished, I don't know, 5th or 6th if everyone was in. You know, I don't know what that is. Best part of £20 million in prize money. It's about 3 million a place, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, and this is what I don't understand is why Spurs won't play that extra little bit of money. Pay that extra money and instead of finishing 10th, we could finish 6th and then make 12 million on finishing 4 places higher.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. And Simon, give Levy a ring. It might be the way forward, mate. You never know. Susanna, Reader, you've been watching too much ITV, Simon. That's what that is, mate. She's very nice though, but I'll carry on from there. Here we go. Philly, big up Archer. I'm tired of hearing excuses while Levy is laughing his head off. This year is special. And guess who's in the house here? Guess who's in the house? Andy Lester. I ain't seen you for a while, Andy. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, gents. Hope you're well. Thinking that the sticking point in Eze is the age, price, no sell-on value. Surely we need players that improve us now and don't think about the sell-on. What do you think, Nige?
100%. 100%. We've bought enough young players that we can get a sell-on value for in the future. Let's buy a couple of players that, and let's face it, if we bought Eze, he would be the only player we brought in at that age. I know Polini is in, but he's on loan. You know, what's Kudus? 24, is he?
Ish. Yeah, 23, 24.
So, you know, let's bring one in who, yes, we won't get a sell-on value for, but, you know, we need him now. He could revitalise our front line and make us look a different team. And for me, it's a no-brainer. For 60 million, 68 million, it's absolutely nothing, is it? For an attacking player as well. This isn't a defender or a deep lying playmaker. This is an attacking player that will get goals, that will assist, that will create cheapest. I think it's cheap as chips. I don't think it's expensive at all.
Not when you've paid
in this going market.
Solanke, Nige.
Exactly.
You know, I know he's not centre forward, but you're talking about levels here, and you're in the job that they do. To me, Solanke ain't very good at putting it in the net, but Eze does what it says on the tin. You know, so yeah, it is what it is, mate. And Lee, I agree with you, mate. It does my nutting, mate. It does my nutting. We're just not that team that go out there and do the business, are we? You know what I mean? We leave it and leave it and leave it. It's not easy doing late Christmas shopping, and there's nothing of note left in the store. And that was the other thing I was going to say, Nige. Got one loan left we can do. We've got one loan left. You're allowed two, apparently. So we've got Paulinia. We can do one more. Andy Lester, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate it. Big up you guys. Really enjoy the collab show. Well, we do it on Nige's as well. Andy, thank you very much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing a bit of this. When Sheriff's about, there'll be three of us. Sometimes it might not be me, and it'll be Nige and Sheriff on both channels. And we're doing our own stuff as well. And Nige is doing his own stuff on his. So, yeah, there's plenty going round. And like and subscribe, Andy, as I know you have. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, mate.
So, listen, body, mind, spirit. I take Semenyo all day as well, but you know, I just can't see that happening now. I can't see it happening. I think that ship sailed. Absolutely sailed. Nige, if you have to go, let me know. I don't know if you have to go or not.
Yeah.
If you're all right,
5
if you
minutes,
have to drop
mate.
out and I'm still going, just drop out, mate, because I just want to try and catch up with the chat. All right, mate. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. I better go in a sec just because I've left her alone for.
All right, mate. No worries.
Or whatever.
If you crack on, sort your daughter out, and I'll just crack on with the rest of the chat. I'm going to finish soon anyway, Nige. So look, everyone.
All right, mate.
Nige has been here for an hour and a half. Please make sure you smash a sub over to Nige. 52 of you still in here. Great stuff. Sub to Nige. I'm sure he'll be back soon. And Nige, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for jumping on, fella. Man. And I'll speak to you soon.
No worries.
Thanks a lot, fella.
No worries. Yeah. Big up, mate, and big up, chat. And everyone keep liking, keep subscribing, and take care of all.
Cheers, Nige.
Cheers, mate.
So you're just going to have to put up with me for the last 5-10 minutes, people. Like I say, 53 of you in here. We'll just rip through the chat on some of these. Body, mind, spirit. Can't see Bournemouth would let him leave. They've already lost half their team. Unless a big offer comes in for him, I can't see it happening, to be honest with you. So we'll see on that one. Yeah, Liel does drift in and out, so that'll be interesting. I'll be surprised if Liel comes, to be honest with you. But, you know, the interest has been in Savio, and I want Savio. That's what I want now. I want him to get these 2 deals done now and get it sorted. Big up, Romeo. Happy days, mate. Let's hope they were. Well, they won, didn't they? So, oh dear, I don't want to talk about them anyway. Couple of replacements for Biss from Kevin. Yao Gomez or Alex Scott. Alex Scott was sought after a couple of years ago, wasn't he? I remember his name being put about a bit. Yao Gomez, fantastic player. Sorry, apologies if I miss anyone in the chat. I don't mean to. I'm just going to try and catch up a bit. Harvey Elliott would be better, has the winning mentality. He's been through it, hasn't he, at Liverpool, Thomas? So I'm all for bringing players to the club that have had that, got that winning mentality. Big up Colin, I believe, at Talking Ball. Hope you fellas are doing well. Glad I caught your show. Nice to have it on in the background while working. Thank you, Colin. Keep listening. Keep subscribing. Keep liking, everyone. As Colin says in his next post. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it, Colin. Hope you're enjoying. Yeah, Niall's come back. Cheers for the comment. Hopefully we will get the deals done. I think this year there is something different with a few additions on the board. And after Levy's comments after the Europa win, maybe I'm just delusional, fella. No, I think we're all in that pretty much same position now, to be quite honest with you. It's time that, you know, the folding came out of the pocket, deal with these contracts, get these players in, and give us a bit more to look forward to than what we've already seen. You know? There you go. Little comment for Nigel from Simon. Reminds him of Elvis Costello, the singer. Nice reply to that. Wish he had his money. Don't we all? Don't we all? Brilliant stuff. I'm miles behind here. Listen, everyone in the chat, thanks ever so much for being here. We've had a great chat. It's been fantastic. I know Nigel's got his breakfast show tomorrow, I believe. He does on Monday. We'll see where we go tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be doing a stream at some stage. Any news that comes out, we'll be on. So thank you very much for the super chats. Thank you to Reefa for the super chat. Appreciate it. And Andy Lester, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that's been in the chat. We've had up to 60 people in here this evening. And I know Mark does and I do and Nigel as well. We all really appreciate it. So thanks very much for being here. And we will see you at some stage tomorrow. Big up, everyone. And come on, you Spurs.
Lights down the lane.